What's up everybody, this is xsolar21 and we're here with another video, and today we're going to be discussing David Ayer's Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad coming out this year from James Gunn. Now as you know, the biggest reason the DCEU has been such a huge mess is because of Warner Brothers interference. Now, they have this mentality that they believe that every movie needs to be lighthearted and comedic like Marvel for the DC films. That's not true. That's not entirely true. That isn't. Can you have lighthearted characters in certain movies? Absolutely. Like I've said before, Shazam and Aquaman, I'd even say the first Wonder Woman, they were all pretty good with the tones they had. They didn't need to be seriously dark, you know? Same with Man of Steel. Man of Steel was kind of in the middle, had a good blend between dark and a lighthearted tone, you know? But then you will need some of those dark toned movies like Batman v Superman or Zack Snyder's Justice League or even Joker, which is its separate universe, or even the Batman movie that comes out this year or next year with Robert Pattinson. You know? So you need to know which characters can work with a lighthearted tone and which ones can work with a dark tone, you know? Learn to separate the two. Now, as you know, when Warner Brothers started to have this mentality, they started having to go back and tamper with a lot of the original plans that Snyder had, one of them being David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Now, Suicide Squad, we know, went through a lot of similarities that happened with the Snyder Cut. Now, I'm not talking about David Ayer stepping away from the project or anything, because he didn't. The similarities I'm discussing are because of the reshoots. Warner Brothers made David Ayer reshoot 50% of Suicide Squad. So the movie we saw in theaters and we still see today is not his true vision. They tried to, brighten his up and more like Guardians of the Galaxy or Deadpool themed, and of course it didn't work. Now we have seen some concepts, some pages of the script, even a few clips here and there of what was originally meant to be. And what it originally was a darker movie that helped intertwine better and, it worked better continuity-wise with Snyder's universe. Helped tie things in a lot better while also expanding upon the universe a little bit, like introducing Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and so forth. Amanda Waller, Katana, so we know there's an alternate version of this movie. And we know that this alternate version will fit perfectly in the Snyderverse. And I believe it is important that people who are pushing the Restore the Snyderverse campaign, including me, we all need to remember that we should also use the hashtag restore, well, yes, we use hashtag restore the Snyderverse, but we should also use hashtag release the Ayer cut, because we know there's an alternate version of Suicide Squad that we still have yet to see. Now, forget what the CEO of Warner Brothers said. She said how they're not going to complete his cut or something like that. Don't believe that. She does not have the final say in what happens with that movie or their DC properties. AT&T does. Now, I'm sure AT&T does not constantly look over their shoulder at every little show or something, but the bigger projects, like the big top dog stuff, probably like the Suicide Squad movie or something like that, they will definitely see those projects or that they're being made. They'll probably have more involvement with bigger projects like that rather than stuff like the Peacemaker show, which it baffles me we're actually getting a show about him. I didn't even know who he was until the Suicide Squad trailer from at the DC Fandom. And now the reason I bring up, sorry if my dog's in the background, the reason I bring this up and mentioning the Suicide Squad from James Gunn is to show that now if you're excited for James Gunn's Suicide Squad, I'm happy for you, all right? I watched the trailer. I was kind of on it, I knew it was going to be Guardians of the Galaxy type themed in that same tone, but I don't know. I'm kind of not really that excited. I probably won't watch it. If a friend invites me over to watch it and they're gonna watch it regardless whether I come over to watch it or not, I'll probably just stick around and say, yeah, sure, I'll just watch it, like whatever. But I probably won't be clicking on that video myself when it comes on HBO Max to watch it. I probably won't be, especially like those jokes that John Cena had in the trailer, like, ugh, like, no, that's not me. But if you are excited for it, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're excited for something. Movies are subjective. But I also think that even if you are excited for it and you want the Snyderverse still restored, I believe it is important to not forget the David Ayer's version of Suicide Squad. You know, regardless whether the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, is in a multiverse, a different universe, whether it's a reboot, soft reboot, sequel, we don't know. We're not fully sure. People have been like dissecting the trailer and looking at hints, little things in the trailer that hinted at previous events that may have happened in this movie or that movie. Like I said, we're not fully sure yet if it's a sequel or a reboot, but I believe if you are excited for the Suicide Squad and you still want the Snyderverse restored, I believe it is important that just because a new Suicide Squad movie is coming out, that it's important that we should not forget David Ayer's Suicide Squad. So I encourage everybody to go spread the hashtag release the Ayer cut, because I believe that it is very important, because when you restore the Snyderverse, you are in turn restoring this movie as well. And you know, I don't want this movie to be forgotten within the Snyderverse. If it is restored, I have faith it will be restored. So I just don't want this one to be left behind, you know, because I believe it, because also a lot of the criticism that it received was because of the reshoots, like Jared Leto's Joker. We have seen pages of the script and, you know, concept drawings, some video clips of the real version that David Ayer wanted for Joker, and it seems a lot better. And Jared Leto seems to give off a much better performance, you know? So, you know, I just wanted to make this video to say, like, you know, go support, like, you know, I believe that the multiverse is a good idea. It's a good concept, you know, and that's good. But Warner Brothers fails to see that they have this mentality that just because, you know, they say they want to explore the multiverse as long as it's universes they want to explore. We want the Snyderverse, they don't want the Snyderverse, you know? But yet they say they want to explore the multiverse and give us different iterations of these characters. And they say they listen to us, you know, and so forth, and that they want to make us happy. That's a lie. You know, so, and also, if you want the Snyderverse restored and the Ayer cut released, it is important to show AT&T that you want this movie to be released and this universe to be restored, because it is AT&T who chose to release the Snyder cut, not Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has done everything they can to sabotage it, you know, the Snyder cut, I mean. They tried everything they can to sabotage it, and it's still been a success. So if we want to show support for the Snyderverse and the Ayer cut, we need to show support to AT&T, you know. Warner Brothers is not going to listen, but AT&T has the power to overrule any of their decisions. So you know, go show your support to AT&T that you want this Snyderverse restored and the Ayer cut released. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and go spread the word. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse and hashtag release the Ayer cut. I'll see you in the next video.